aviation fans, welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast. And today, we're finally going to look at a plane that I hadn't reviewed yet on my channel, but a plane you've probably flown in if you've ever traveled a long-haul route in recent years. Because today, I'll be reviewing the first Boeing 787 on my channel. It's also the first Boeing 787 Herpa made in 1/500 scale. So there's definitely something special about this model. As you can see, it's in the livery of Continental Airlines, who no longer exist, but whose livery was adopted by United Airlines and still is their livery to this day. Now here you can see it has the Herpa catalog number 505352. It's the ground configuration with landing gear. And it has a wingspan of 60.1 meters, a length of 56.7 meters, and a height of 16.9 meters. Now, I believe this was a Wings World exclusive, and you had to be a member of Herpa Wings Club to be able to order this back in the day when it came out. But it's widely available now, so let's unbox it. I managed to find this 787 for 23 euros, which is a bit cheaper than more recent Herpa 787s that retail for 35 and above. And so here it is, the 1/500 scale Continental Herpa Boeing 787. The Continental 787, the plane that never was. And I'll explain to you why in a moment. Herpa released this model in 2007 as it wanted to be the first model maker to release a plane that wouldn't even enter service in real life for the next 4 years. Also, back in the day, the extended fuselage variants of the 787 like the -9 and -10 didn't exist yet. So Herpa just called this the 787 instead of the 787-8. The model was released in 2 variants, a grounded variant with landing gear, which is this one, and a flying variant without landing gear but with a stand. However, Herpa's gamble of having released the 787 in the livery of the back then launch customer Continental Airlines a full 4 years prior to its official launch didn't exactly pay off, as Continental ceased to exist after its merger with United Airlines in October 2010, a deal that allowed United to keep its name but lose its livery, and Continental to keep its livery but lose its name. And so by 2012, when the 787 entered service under United, it did so in this livery, but with the United branding. So if you're a real-life aviation purist, I can see why you would want to avoid buying this model. But for me, there's just something special about designing and releasing a model of a plane that you are confident will enter service several years in advance, and then the unthinkable happens, namely the liquidation of the airline whose livery you released your model in, but the model sort of serves as a reminder of something unique. So we'll begin our review by taking a look at the port side of the aircraft at the L1 door, and to the left of it you can see the Skymark logo, and the door also has some nice level of details with like an external door lever and of course a window, and a little marking for, I think, where the emergency slide would open up. We then have the window line with the Continental title above, the L2 door, and then we have the L3 door and the L4 door with the American flag over there. Now what's missing is the registration, but I believe that was because when this model was released nobody knew exactly what the registration would be. Then we have the Continental tail, with like those blurry lines, which I can't focus because they're supposed to look like that on purpose. The globe. And the horizontal stabilizers are over here. Got a little bit of detail for the elevators. And now if we take a look at the wings of the plane. Herpa did a decent job with the wings of this plane. You can see that we have two lines on the wing surfaces, which are like that on the real 787 as well, I believe. And the wings are painted in white. They have a silver leading edge for the slats. We've got some detail for the trailing edge fairings, and the flaps and the ailerons are sort of visible, but kind of covered in the paint as well. Regarding the engines, I don't actually know whether these are General Electric Gen X or Rolls-Royce Trents, as Herpa didn't print the logo on the nacelles, and the shape is so similar that even in real life you would be hard-pressed to tell the difference by their size. However, we do get some basic amount of detail like silver engine cowlings, the interior is dark, and under the flash you can see some of the fan blade detailing. It would have also been cool if Herpa had added the white swirl in the center of the fan blades. The detail that we do get, however, is that the engine cowlings have jagged edges, which are called chevrons. Their main purpose is to reduce noise by disrupting the airflow in such a way that the sound waves begin to cancel each other out. Here you can see the main landing gear doors, and back here we have a service door for the cargo hold. I wonder if the 7878 model without landing gear that comes with the stand has the wings modeled in an upward flex, like during flight. I checked some pictures online where they show the sister model to this one from the side and the back, and I didn't really notice the difference. Sadly, I couldn't find a picture taken straight from the front, like this. Speaking of, here's a closer look at the front of the aircraft. Now you can see that the 787 is known for its bigger and fewer windows. There are 4 in total, and they look very unique to the 787. So we've got that. We do get 2 windshield wipers, but otherwise we don't really have any extra amount of detail here. And here's a look at the starboard side of the plane. Now you can see, this being a new generation Herpa, not only does it have the scale-accurate landing gear with the nose gear doors, but it also has cargo doors. And if we take a look at the back of the plane over here, we also have some nice detail for the APU. If I can focus this, that is, there you go. And now taking a look at the bottom of the plane, you can see that we have the Herpa logo here. And once again, nice level of detail for the engine exhausts, or the exhaust cones, I guess. Some nice depth as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now for comparison, I have here a 777-200, and you can see that the Boeing 787 is smaller. So I don't think it is a real competitor to the 777, more like an upgraded version of the Boeing 767, but I'll show that in a later comparison. You'll also notice that the 777 has bigger engines than the 787, GE90 versus GENX. The fuselage is also longer, and I think even a bit wider, allowing for a 3-4-3 seating instead of a mere 3-3-3 seating. So I hope you guys liked my review of the 1/500 scale Boeing 787 in the Continental livery. Certainly an interesting concept that was released 4 years, thinking that it would come out like this. But at the end of the day, the livery still made it. It's just that instead of Continental, you have United written on the real-life planes. If you're interested in more reviews like this, make sure to check out some of my other reviews here. And as always, guys, take care, have a wonderful day. This is Imperial Diecast, signing out.